Either the dancing. Hey, we've technically started here. And I don't think Riverside's edit function understands the rolling starts, but this is exciting. We don't have a guest today. Again, Gernise is no longer a guest. She is now a part of the VBG team.
Yo, welcome, Gernise.
Clap function, clap function.
We need a soundboard, bro.
We need to buy the soundboard. We need to buy the
Yes.
soundboard. Let me
Yes,
look it up right now.
We need the
How much is
soundboard,
that?
and I also need to make that that Drake snippet a sound. He's like, "So what then, big dog? So what? Don't get shy now." That's gonna be a cold one. But Gernise, welcome officially to the team. We've had Gernise on, so she's been on. I think she's on our first or second episode. We've worked with Gernise for a really long time. I mean, obviously, Al and Wells have known her all their life or all her life, but yeah, we're just excited to have her a part of the team. Gernise, talk a little bit about joining the team. What's kind of exciting about stepping into your new role as Chief Marketing Officer of VBG?
Yes, so welcome if you guys are new here. Yes, as I said, I'm
We need a
Gernise.
personality. That's what we were missing.
Well, I have a lot of it, sometimes I'm a little delusional, so that's just that. But yeah, guys, at GG Thrive Guide, now GG Thrive Agency merged with VBG, so now it's all VBG creative, because for a long time I always thought, I could run my own agency by myself, and I can do everything by myself, and I can edit and film by myself and fund movies by myself. And over the course of the years, and having amazing support like you all, and amazing leaders and experts like you all, have pushed me to expand, and we're now a full team and family, which I love. So I'm just grateful. This is God's plan, and we're gonna do great things. If you're a client watching this, we're gonna have you as this is just a pre-intro.
Example.
Yeah. And we're gonna have more interns and employees. So
Oh yeah, we are literally just getting more interns. That's insane.
We do have an intern starting this week, starting today actually. So the family is growing. We feel like the mob right now.
yeah, we're growing, and I think that's important. In the world of marketing, you can't wear all the hats. You have to have the right team, and it's difficult to have and find the right team. So I'm grateful to be here, guys.
We're glad to have you, bro. This
Glad
is
to have you.
like
It's a
what we
blessing.
call it, the LeBron joining the Heat type of effect. Cristiano Ronaldo going to Real Madrid from Man United type of effect. So we
Wow.
don't need too much speaking
Messi coming to Miami.
type of effect.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't want to anger anybody, but I feel like Messi coming to Miami, he's coming on like the end of his career.
Yeah, but I know, but he's still like, it's not what he brings on the field this time, it's what he brings to sport. That's the difference here. I think he came to Miami because of what he's gonna bring to the sport of soccer in the United States, and he's make a big impact on that. That's the impact I'm looking at. Not like
Yes.
end of his career, he's just retiring, but like the effect of his impact is like him, fresh young player.
I don't like Messi.
Well, the value of even though he's getting old, we all get old. Messi's bringing so much value to South Florida. Like, everything has gone up. Inflation has gone in 10 times more, simply because he's here.
Just because one man stepped in, the entire economy went up by multiple digits, like in the 2030s, which is insane to think about.
He's on every
where they were able to get a contract to build a whole new facility. I think it's like a couple $1 billion. They made that up. So one man just took a club from making a multi-million to making billions. What?
Yep. So that's the power of team building and
There you go.
Growth, addition, subtraction.
Well, as we're we're excited to have Gernise on, and kind of for us, this was like we're in phase 2 now, right? We're heading into phase 2 of just building out different operations. Gernise already jumped into providing podcast topics, so we don't have to rack our brains, so which I'm excited about. Gernise, talk to us a little bit about the question you kind of ask our group chat about expertise versus age, and kind of intro it a little bit, and then we'll kind of, I got some questions to ask you specifically, but then we'll kind of open it up to everybody as well.
Yeah, so it's really hitting me now, especially 2025, and going back more so in the workspace physically and being around people physically, and not working fully remote. I came from straight remote work and only running my business to kind of testing out what a 9 to 5 feels like, and in person and deep in person. So I feel like I've been able to see now in my career from the beginning to the end after graduating college to now that expertise lies in the hands of people who are constantly wanting to evolve. And in a lot of spaces, instead of it being expertise, it's more ego driven. And I think people have to, especially older individuals who've been in certain spaces, especially in the marketing industry, they have to keep up with the marketing trends. I don't think growth should be based on what I knew. It should be based on what I'm learning. And so that's one thing I'm noticing, especially when it comes to versus age. I think that individuals, they can get intimidated by a younger crowd of individuals who are still learning versus those who don't think they should learn because of a title that they gained years ago.
I like the quote, like, growth shouldn't be based on what you knew. It should be based on what you're learning.
Yes. Yeah, that's how I see it. And yeah, a lot of times some people like to put they like to prioritize their age
Yeah.
as, you know,
Like
the
the
gap.
expert. Yeah.
Right, the gap that's kind of missing, when in fact, you have to just be more open-minded to expansion.
I will say this. I think that's something we've realized in marketing. That's something that marketing, when it comes to marketing, it's like what you say, the enemy of marketing. For a person, as a person, like I'm an engineer. I work my 9 to 5, mostly like as doing technical stuff. You cannot walk into an engineering meeting not knowing your thing and not being updated. Does that make sense? People will call you out. You'll feel stupid real fast. So like that takes that away. If you guys kind of like follow what I'm trying to say. So I feel like in marketing there is that like idea of that. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if we should dive into the history of like why is that the case of like marketing where people think like everyone is a marketer when why is that the case? Like everyone's an expert like at it because is it because the way society introduced marketing to the world, because of how marketing actually like the deliverables, like the things we see? Like what you guys think? Like
Well, if I can jump in there, Wells, I don't know how many times I've gotten upset, or just I've heard people say my friend is in marketing, and like, okay, cool, but what does that mean? Like, what does your friend's portfolio look like? And then also, how many times have people? It burns me up, especially when I see like Al or Wells, they're at an event and they're shooting, they're getting like content, and somebody is like, I think Wells and I were on a shoot a couple years ago, and somebody's like, "Hey, cameraman, get this," and I'm like, "We have a shot list. We have things that we're working towards, right? Like, just because you own a Nikon, whatever, doesn't mean that you know what you're doing here. You know what I'm saying?"
Nikon.
Yeah, I see that. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, to me, like I know my lane and I run in it, man. Yeah.
He said Nikon, yeah.
Nikon, Canon,
I was gonna have to edit out the next thing I said, but yeah, just because you own a Nikon, whatever, doesn't make you an expert in shooting, right? Like, now I will say, this past weekend I was at a wedding, and the photographer, gosh, I don't know if I can say that. I don't know. She probably won't see this. I said, "Oh, is that A7 A7 IV?" She's like, "No, it's the A7 III." She said, "Do you shoot?" I said, "I dabble." But
Bro.
but I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert though, right? So like I leave that to the experts, right? Like I'm always gonna default. I truly believe in this. I'm always gonna default in when it comes to things that I don't know. If I'm not, I don't want to be the smartest. And if I'm the smartest in the room when it comes to like
You should leave that
photography
room.
and videographer, I gotta get out. I gotta get out.
Right.
Really bad, really
You should
bad
leave
room.
that room.
Really bad room. Really bad room. So.
That was a room, yeah, that I know oh so well. I was gonna say to your point, those are major points because in general, right? I feel like because everyone wants to be seen as a marketer. For example, there was once a marketing team I was working with that literally did not know anything, and they kind of just got into their position because of word of mouth. Word of mouth goes a long way, but they weren't producing growth. So I feel like in general, I think a lot of people think that they can be in the marketing positions because of society. And when I say society, I mean everybody wants to be in the spotlight. If y'all are peeping, everyone wants to be in the spotlight. Everybody wants attention, and especially now, everyone wants to be a creator so they can make money online. And everyone's just trying to be out here and do whatever it takes to just be out here, and then also call it a marketer, when in fact it takes real strategy to to actually know what you're doing, and it takes a team as well to really know what you're doing. And I think that's the downfall of society, because if you think about it, almost everything can kind of be seen as marketing. Social media, billboards, websites. It's a lane that's accessible to everybody, which makes it so that people think that, okay, I already do this, so it makes me a marketer. So I think, I don't know, there's a deep dive into like why that is the case compared to engineering, like you said. Well, it's like with engineering, you have to really, really know exactly, like you said, know your stuff. With marketing, people could imply knowing their stuff because they're seeing it every day.
But with marketing though, I could say you gotta know your stuff. Like you mentioned, you got billboards, you got social media, you got website, things like that. All of those channels or platforms, there is certain use case for each of them, like individually of how you want to target your audience and what like you have to know what audience gonna react to those specific cases of platform the best. And maybe there is like what's the word, like maybe they can they reply or they interact more with all of them or one, so you got to know that. I feel like in each case what you mentioned on those platforms, there is experts at those. There's experts at social media marketing where there's way more deep into that. And so like I don't think you can imply on anything that is so deep and vast and just so complex. With engineering is just very simple to realize. If someone walk into the room, they don't know how to use pi in an equation, you be like, okay, you gotta get out. Or they don't understand like how internet works when it comes to networking, IP addressing, and even servers, DNS, all those things, protocols, you only know really fast. Because like I would say it's more to your face. Marketing, I think it's an easier way to get into, and people think that everyone can do it because it's an easier entry. But because it's so easy entry, the one way is much much longer, I believe, than engineer. Like engineer is harder entry, but once you get into the runway, you already taking off once you kind of yourself. That makes sense. The analogy. Back on it.
Let's talk a little bit about just, well, one, Al, help us out here too, because you can speak from the photography, videography. Like it's probably a really, really relevant for you that you've been to weddings and people have tried to tell you how to do your job. Hopefully they haven't, but talk to us a little bit about that age versus expertise debate when it comes to photography and videography.
And they do that all the time.
I was probably you're probably the youngest person at any wedding you go to, right? Like one of the
Yeah,
youngest
besides
people.
the kids, besides people's kids.
Yeah.
And I can speak on that later too, because I'm typically the other person.
I don't know if I can say what I'm about to say.
Yeah. Hey,
Don't say
spice
hey.
sells, dude. Spice sells, dude. Keep it spicy.
I'm just
Go
gonna say
ahead.
it be your own people that give you the most headache. It give you the most like
Yeah.
the
Yep.
most what do you call it?
Pressure.
Pressure or critique while you're in the middle of your job trying to shoot. Like Todd was saying, I don't know if it was Todd or Wells, but like he was like, get this, get that. I mean, I was hired to do this specific job. I'm a professional at this job. And then you're a guest and you're telling me to get this and get that. Like I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting. I never understood it. With the age thing, I mean that can go way back because as a Haitian American, Haitian parents they're older than you. Anything that they say has to be the law, and it's way better than what you could possibly think of. They can't imagine their kids having a better idea than them. So you can have a similar. It can almost translate. Like let's say you're working with another photographer, videographer, and they've been they're a lot older than you are. I've actually been to a wedding where there's a photographer a lot older than I am, and I can compare portfolios, and I can almost tell. Well, I'm at the point right now I can tell almost kind of like age range based on looking at somebody's portfolio. I can see how certain people shoot, and just the kind of like product that they put out there. You can tell if they're from the older crowd because they have a specific type of shooting style. Because back when cameras weren't as advanced as they are now, you weren't able to do certain things. So they know that way. That's their process, and it's been like that ever since. They may upgrade equipment, but they have the same muscle memory shooting the same type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the age thing to me doesn't matter because you can almost relate it to football. Freaking Lamine Yamal is what, 18, 17? He's a young Spanish kid, and he's going crazy in the game right now in the professional league, making millions. When I was
Over
17,
my head.
18, I don't know why I wasn't thinking about playing football, but he's making money. Way more money than me. But he's young and he's talented and he's doing a lot better than many of the older players that's been in the game for 10 years or
Yeah.
however many years. He's winning trophies and everything. So it's just like the age thing doesn't even matter. It's about like what can you provide, what can you produce, your talent.
Yeah.
And
Like
that speaks a lot
yeah.
more than age.
I agree. I agree. You're gonna say something, Wells?
I was just agreeing. Yeah, the young superstar footballer Lamine Yamal. Yeah, he's definitely young and he's doing better than most players that have been in that like high level league for 10, 20 years. So yeah, I was agreeing. I was saying.
I feel like in that sense, in general, I'm sure he's even having a lot of pressure because those same older people who've been there for a longer time probably see him as like a threat or intimidating.
Yes.
to him.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think even me being in that same position too, everywhere I go, it's like you have to build so much confidence and strength in yourself.
Mhm.
No matter who tries to break you or tries to talk down on you because of your age, like
Yeah.
brush it off. But no, I like the points that you mentioned for sure. Cause overall, so I was kind of gonna twist it because y'all, I've been in a position recently where there was a videographer.
Damn.
Okay. And I would go to, I would sometimes like just try, not even to shadow, but like to
Damn.
actually go to the events to make sure things are being, correctly filmed.
Damn. This is
But I'm not a guest. I'm like, in a sense, I was the leader.
Mhm.
So how do you, okay, let me just tell my story. So
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Tell
a
your
An
good
story.
exclusive.
Tell
An
your
exclusive.
So I'm a leader, right? I already peeped what this agency has done, and there's been no real results from their work. And so for me to go and look at what they're doing, for example, I went one day, there's a new building being built out, within the company I was working for. And the videographer was filming. And still, I was trying to help him understand, my vision, right? In this case, it's a new building. So for me, I wanted us to do more fun content, like make this look like MTV Cribs, welcome to my cribs. Like, let's get a little more creative rather than showing the basic building and somebody talking for 20 minutes. Nobody wants to hear that or watch that the entire time, right? You got to capture people's attention, definitely based on whatever platform it's being posted on. And so I've already communicated this prior to going. I went the day of for filming. We had our individuals who were being interviewed. And as I'm kind of telling him, hey, maybe try to get like this shot. He said in front of these leaders, my leaders, worry about the wording. Worry about the wording.
Whoa!
That's
Pause.
what the
Time out.
videographer told
We
me.
gotta everybody.
That's what
Everybody. Moment of silence.
that's what the
You
videographer
should have had
told
the
me.
soundboard.
Yeah.
And he said that. He said that in front of a leader, and the leader, like, she's like she didn't say nothing. And she actually ended up at the end kind of giving her mic to the other leader because she didn't even really want to deal with this videographer. And she peeped how he was just a little bit offsetting and a little rude for just no reason. Because I get it. Like, I'm sure day to day, people are going to tell you, hey, film this. Can you get this shot? This will be better, even though it may not be better. But I think, too, some videographers or creatives also have to value advice from people who have actually produced results, right? Like
But
I
also,
get not
you were a part of the project. That's different.
correct. So I get not valuing advice from like a random guest who wants
Yeah.
you to show her new Louis Vuitton shoes. I get that. But if you're like, if there's a leader or someone there trying to provide like guidance, right? Someone who's actually produced real results, then I think it's, you got to be open minded. But yeah, this videographer was very like just
Bad business, man.
that ego, that ego in the marketing space. I don't know. People got to
Now,
work
he
on
was
that.
dismissive. He was dismissive of women.
That's another conversation for another podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fired.
Let's really fire this up. Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
wow.
I feel like we could probably spend like an hour on like just yeah. No, I'll bring us back because and it's interesting, Gernise, that you talked about that because one of my questions was how have you navigated being a young leader in rooms with older faces. It sounds like that has been a challenge. And just wanting to kind of hear what would you tell other young creatives that are in your shoes, how to navigate.
In general, so you're saying what would I give, like the advice I would give to other creatives who may be in a similar space as me?
Right, they're young and they're in a older room. They're in an older crowd, and they may be kind of. I think the Bible verse says, Timothy, we're just like don't let them despise you or look down on you for your youthfulness, but set an example. What does that look like for you? How would you give advice to younger creators?
Well, for sure, go back to that. I would tell them go back to that verse because I do remember that verse and I need to write that down too. Because to me, it's almost like a daily reminder that no matter what walk of life you're in, people are going to try to, downplay you. And to me, it takes strength building because this did not happen overnight.
Resilience.
Right. It takes a lot of resilience. And I feel like I'm actually grateful. The first position I had actually was not in marketing. Right out of college, COVID-19 hit. So the only option I had really was sales. I was in a sales position. And it was like the most roughest job or slash career ever where I was managing like almost 20 old grown men truck drivers who were delivering products free. I'm not gonna say the name. They were delivering product. They were delivering products to different stores like Publix, Walmart, Sam's Club, BJ's. And so I literally had to be their leader. And so when they see this, the youngest manager in the building, the only female manager in the building, it's like, oh, well, we're not going to take her that serious. But when we actually start producing results, people wanted to kind of join our team and all that good stuff. So I would say in general, keep the faith first. Faith is really what allowed me to even stay there for close to a year because knowing me, I would have already left. So definitely keep the faith. And kind of you have to get into the mode. And I think that's where being Haitian stands. Like we got our parents, they like you Al said, they love to be the experts in everything. Everything. They love to be the experts. But you have to kind of get used to like hearing the noise and letting it leave from the next ear, if you get what I'm trying to say. You really have to block out a lot of noise. While some advice is great, you got to like get in that mode of blocking out noise, whether that's going to work out, okay, taking a walk in the park, going on a trip. If that's going to help you block out noise from outsiders, that's literally the only way. Because if it was up to me, I've been in meeting rooms where people have been arguing and calling each other disrespectful, and these are from high level positions, but it's like me kind of looking and keeping quiet and keeping my mouth shut and just peeping like, okay, clearly speaking like this hasn't gotten anyone anywhere. So I'm like a turn the other cheek person. I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay, I'm gonna still be respectful to keep my reputation great, but I'm gonna move accordingly though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move accordingly. So you have to let people talk. Let people talk. Do not somebody. One of my closest friends. He always told me, don't ever let somebody see you sweat, because a lot of times people say things and it gets under your skin. They come for your expertise. They come for whatever creativity you're doing. They make fun of you because you're doing influencer things and you're going out and filming. You got to block out that noise. And I feel like that's how the most successful people are successful, because they did not listen to people who said, oh, that's dumb. That's a dumb idea.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
I
Like,
agree.
don't, you have, like, you got to block out that noise. So that's my best advice.
Yeah, another thing I'll add to that is be bold. That's something I bring into every meeting is like I know my stuff. I'm not gonna let you talk down to me, and I'm not gonna argue, but I'm gonna set you in your place. And so
Yeah.
respectfully, lovingly. And so
Yeah. Be bold and respectful.
some of the enters meetings I've been in, I wish there was a camera watching so I can show you guys, but it's being bold and being respectful, being professional, and making like people understand that like, hey, this is why I'm here, this is why you're here. What are we doing?
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's like, are we trying to get this move on to the next phase, or are we gonna keep like debating over like this simple thing here? So appreciate it. Yeah.
And I also say, like, just keep, as we mentioned, keep elevating, keep on learning, because the average person, they're not trying to do research on the next.
They're not.
They're not looking at trends. They're not paying attention.
But yeah, I don't even realize that if you spend, I saw this, if you spend, let's say you work a 9 to 5, if you get out of work every day and you're 9 to 5, you spend an hour doing like career development, you are ahead of 99.9% of the people.
No, literally.
You get out of 9 to 5, you go home, you spend 1 hour strictly focused on just learning something, you're ahead 99.9. Because the thing is, I always tell myself this, I don't want to be a consumer. Not all people just consume. I don't want to be a consumer. I want to be someone that like either create, change, and innovate.
Yeah.
If I find myself on social media scrolling, I'm a consumer. Thank God I don't find myself doing it unless like I'm like, oh, let me go on Instagram and do this. I'm always like it takes time to train your body to be like, yo, I want to go and learn something, create, go read something, go do that. Cause like I spend more than an hour. So when I read that goal, that was a long time ago. We spent an hour. So over the years, I've been adding an hour. Now I spend like 4 to 5 hours per day, and even on the weekends of like, if I'm not out of town, sitting by my computer and learning something. Over time, that compound interest, which I've seen it, when I'm 40, 45, like I'm gonna see that like that result. And so that
Yeah.
I found what that quote was. Like
Yeah.
1 hour.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Well,
And I definitely agree.
I was gonna say on that though, because I feel I feel a little bit different than you on that, Wells, but along the same lines. JP Petty, somebody who I'd love to meet. He's the executive creative director at 14th and Market, which is a creative agency out of like Philadelphia, I think. But he made this quote on a podcast I was listening to. He said, culture moves really fast and strategy should follow that. You can't fake culture. Either you understand it or you don't. And I do feel like the time that in which we're living in, things are just moving so quickly. And I as a strategist, pride myself in, hey, how do I like take all of this in, right, and understand like what these trends are? Like Gernise and I've talked about this before, even doing social listening the old fashioned way. So then I could take this and figure out how can I directly apply this to what I'm working on now. And I think this has always been my learning style. So I'm taking this information, right? I'm looking at this different trends. Okay, this is what there's a upstart golf brand that I'm following. If they would like to send us merch, please do. But I'm please do. But as I'm looking at how they're building, and I'm looking at how they're approaching it, it's like an old classic Pinterest board. And so I'm just following, like, hey, here are the posts that they're making, and I just have to. I'm consuming so much of their content. Then I'm also figuring out, hey, how do I directly apply this to somebody that we're working with now? Or how can I apply this to somebody that we'd like to work with? And even figuring out, what does it look like? So I'm building these case studies in my head of, hey, this is what if these people called me tomorrow, this is exactly what I would do. This is how I would deliver for them. And so I think that's a really big part of, in this day and age, really focusing on strategy. But yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. I just want to just say my last note, because especially when you say strategy, I remember when I did get into my workplace, my former workplace, I did have a coworker, and he was used to, like you said, he was part of the 99% that he would work, go home, party, sleep, bored. Like, we would come back every weekend. Oh, what did you do this weekend? Oh, well, I was learning me. I'll be like, oh yeah, I was doing this. I was out here. I was networking. I was learning this. And he was just like, oh yeah, I was big chilling. I was vibing. So it came to the point where, guys, this might shock you. I started kind of peeping. He kind of started forming just a little bit of, intimidation. He checked my computer when I was not in the room.
What?
Yeah.
And he started taking on courses. He actually asked the leader to pay for a course to take on. So, yes. And he also mentioned to me, like, you know what? I want to learn this. I'm trying to learn these designs.
No, you're a good influence.
I feel I was a very good influence, because a lot of the meetings too, they would always shout out my wins and how I helped the department itself. And so that's why I go to say, and it's kind of, the whole checking my computer, crazy. But and I caught him, y'all. I caught him. So that kind of shows me, like, okay, anyone watching this who has a 9 to 5, you can make time for more things. You can still learn how to grow.
You should make time.
You got to make time. So, and don't be intimidated. And don't be checking computers. Just, ask questions. Ask questions.
People are just lazy.
People are very.
And it's okay, because I'm lazy too. I just have to find myself every day to not be.
Right. It's a fight.
You're going to choose to take that fight, you don't. Like right now, I'm drinking Mucinex. Because this sickness
They have a drink?
Got me on.
Drank. Some people slow down.
I said he's drinking it, man. That's crazy. And then he had the nerve. This is why this podcast is going to come out audio only, because you just showed the brand, like they sponsoring us.
You got blurred, man.
Yeah, what's good, bro? Yeah,
listen, they can sponsor,
Shout out to Mucinex. Yeah, please drop. Subscribe.
This thing works.
Who makes that? Johnson and Johnson? No, never mind.
I don't know.
But what I was gonna say is that like, just motivational talk here for people that's watching this that has 9 to 5 is that, yes, life is hard. Everyone's life is hard. Don't compare yourself to make sure, like, oh, your life is harder than the other person. Like, there's things that's gonna happen every day. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna have step back, but you gotta think about the compound interest of moving forward. There's gonna be dips in the chart, but as long as the chart is going up, doesn't matter if there's dips. It's that, like, you have the mindset to, like, hey, I'm gonna keep doing this, not to, like, yo, man, like, yeah, a lot of things can happen, like, but that's life. I think we'll enjoy the journey, because when you get to destination, like, all of us here, we want VBG to be grown. Have not a lot of employees, but, like, we're making multi-million dollars. That's not gonna change my happiness that I am now than when we get to that goal. And so if you're not enjoying this right now, me with a thing on my lip drinking Mucinex, Gernise talking about her past employer, how
Nobody knew about the thing on your nobody knew about the thing on your lip.
We couldn't
This is
notice.
gonna be this is gonna be audio.
We can't even see it really, so.
This gotta be video because this is Gernise first podcast as CMO. We can't have this audio.
Yeah. We can make
But
sure
what
nobody
I'm
thinks
saying
we
to
AI'd
Chris's
it.
point is that you gotta choose your battles, and fighting laziness is a good battle to choose. So that's all I gotta say. End my rant here.
Well, last thing, one question I really wanted to go into, but today it feels like there's a lot of BS marketing. And what do you guys feel like is your metric for spotting BS versus spotting brilliance, especially when it comes to marketing?
I wish we can just screen share.
We could just go through and just like this.
Yeah, just be like, this is BS.
Yeah, this is
because
BS.
I have
for
some
sure.
examples, man. I have some examples, but hey,
I have an example, and I will say the brand. Smoothie King.
Whoa.
Yeah. Talk about that. No. Talk about that because you and I talked about that, Gernise, and I'm they don't have anybody that looks like us in there.
Like a lot of these brands, y'all have to start getting diverse voices and experts at that who know how to strategize and correct you when you're wrong. And that goes to show there's a lot of ego-driven leaders in a lot of positions. But yes, Smoothie King, they're a great brand, they're a big brand. Prefer Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and I can say that I do reviews all day, so hey, whatever.
Yeah.
In general, Smoothie King, Juneteenth, I was informed by my friends that they had a free smoothie on Juneteenth, June 19th. Literally, I get there and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's just a watermelon smoothie that's free. Okay. I go in there, y'all. They gave me a rough time. They're like, oh, you have to download this app. And I'm not going to give you. The black girl was just going to give it to me. The white girl now, she was like, oh, no, you got to download the app. And you got to do all this. I'm like, okay. Yes. I get it. Download the app, get my smoothie, y'all. It's this small. It's a big smoothie. And it's watermelon on the historical Black Day.
Yeah. It's
Here's your cookie.
Y'all could at least did a large.
No one really thought about this. Oh my gosh.
They could at least did a large. They could have did a large. Oh my gosh. And then it's watermelon. Like, come on. Watermelon. Y'all couldn't choose mango.
And it's on Juneteenth, and they just try to.
And a lot of people were like commenting on, because there were posts about it. And a lot of people were like, wow, they chose the craziest day to do this and the most interesting flavor. So things like that. And some people they won't think about that if they're not like us, or if they don't know their history, or if they're out of touch, or if they don't know how to actually create a strategy well, because there was a lot of backlash, and I'm still talking about it to this day, and it's been over a month. And now I don't want to go to Smoothie King no more, and it was not good. Anyways,
wow.
I have let's just stay with that one because that was good. I have been. We should have like a segment to just show BS marketing, but I think we might get a lot of hate. So let's.
Yeah, we probably would. They'll probably pull up. They'll probably pull up the campaign we did. The audience, you guys did. The audience, your audience did not hear that.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I'm still pretending.
Yeah. Show their.
But one way to identify BS marketing, just one last one, is if this is very easy. If the thing, whatever that organization is putting out, doesn't fit their values or even fit their brand, it's very generalized. Like, for example, like if you're if you're eye optometrist person, or you have a optometrist kind of business, and then you're putting out like, I don't know, how to go take a ride on a bike, that doesn't really fit. That's the easiest way to kind of like figure out BS marketing, is if it doesn't align with the overall mission. And I feel like there's a lot of if the people that are scrolling through Instagram, that are consuming, pay attention to that. There is more BS marketing out there than actual real good marketing. If you're on really good marketing, follow Sports Team. They on point. They on point. Like, most of them on point. Like,
except the Lakers. But go ahead.
yeah, most of them on point with like the way they like a clockwork. That's the best marketing, like I would say, strategy wise, when it comes down like that I've seen. Anything else, or Apple if you Apple, but that's it.
Nobody does it better than Apple.
Yeah,
Team Apple.
The marketing is better than the product at this point.
yeah. The marketing in Apple is so much better. Like the way that's how they get you, man. The way they strategize. No one's gonna hate Apple, no matter what Apple does, which is kind of crazy because they've done some crazy stuff, but no one hears about it.
Bro, you heard how much them stands are for the new Apple desktop?
Yeah, but people are gonna buy it.
No way,
I
I'm
want to
spending
buy the
$1,000 on
desktop.
a stand adapter. Free.
I
No.
want to get the desktop as we speak.
Yeah, but they're gonna buy it because the way they market it. Like,
Yeah.
you see you don't even think about the price when you see the marketing they give you. You're like, damn.
And the look.
I bought a 1500 monitor, Apple, and realized that it had a camera in it later.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a meeting on like alternatives for me because I want the whole.
So
Yeah. It's fire. Well, guys, thank y'all for listening. This is episode 11, which I forgot to say at the beginning. It feels like we're like so far away from 21, but 21 will be here before you know it. So we'll celebrate.
It feels like we hit 21 already. I don't know why.
Yeah, feels like it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not easy, but we'll be in the 1%. 1%.
I can see why it's the 1%. No one can make it that far. Yeah,
it's dog days, bro. It's dog days. But welcome to the team. We appreciate having you. We're looking forward to we're going now. We're just gonna fire the rocket ship, going to the moon now.
We are.
Yeah, buy stock in VBG now. It just got a lot more expensive to work with VBG. Just so you guys know. The price definitely just went up. It just went up. But
I'm sorry. After today, based on today, price just risen.
The price,
but you guys know, it did. It did. Now time flies when you're talking to good people. I'm so happy that we had a chance to talk to you guys. And hey, if you know a business owner, send them this. Tell them to like, subscribe, share, and share. We would love to hear from you. Join our email list where we send out an email every Friday or Monday, depending on the holiday. We love to kind of send these podcasts to you. We got some blogs updated on our website, just kind of giving our thoughts. We're young, but we're talented, and that's what we're trying to take off and really gain some traction. Hey, until next time, thank y'all.
Till next